How's it going, everyone? Mr. Livia here again with another video lecture. This is going to continue our last video lecture, so it's going to be over the same thing. Going to have the same essential question: how do we diagram sentences? But it's going to have different topics. Today's topics are going to be direct objects, predicate adjectives, and predicate nouns. Make sure you're writing all that stuff at the top of your Cornell notes, and also make sure you're taking Cornell notes. So we're just going to quickly go through these three sections and then provide you with 5 practice sentences for you to do on your own to make sure that you're on the right page with this, and also to give you some feedback in terms of what you need to work on, if you need to work on anything. So let's go ahead and get started with our first section. It's going to be over direct objects. The direct object of a verb is a thing being acted upon, i.e., the receiver of the action. A direct object follows the verb on the horizontal line. We see a little pointer right there. It is separated from the verb by a vertical line that does not go through the horizontal line. So it's different than the line that separates the subject from the verb, in that the line that separates the subject from the verb goes through the horizontal line. So we see it right over there. Let's look at the example sentence. The villain cautiously prepared the plan. Our subject is villain. The verb, what the villain did, is prepared. And then we have to ask ourselves, what was being acted upon? In other words, what was being prepared? And in this case, it was plan. We also have those modifiers that we put on those slanted lines at the bottom. So let's go ahead and read it all together. The villain cautiously prepared the plan. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next little section. Predicate adjectives. Predicate adjectives follow a linking verb and describe the subject. In a sentence diagram, they are separated from the verb by a slanted line. The line slants back towards the subject that the adjective is describing. This seems a little bit complicated, but hopefully it clears up a little bit after we look at this example. Superman was very careful. So we know our subject right off the bat is going to be Superman because he's the person that we're talking about. Then we're going to quickly find our linking verb. Here it's was. And then we just simply ask ourselves, well, what was Superman? He was careful. So we're going to put that at the end right there after that slanted line. And there's also a modifier, very. So we're going to put that on our slanted line right underneath our predicate adjective, just like that. Let's look at our last little section on predicate nouns. Predicate nouns follow a linking verb and mean the same thing as the subject. We're actually going to end up diagramming the predicate nouns out the same way that we diagram the predicate adjectives. So you'll notice the similarities here. In a sentence diagram, they are separated from the verb by a slanted line. The line slants back towards the subject that the noun is repeating. Let's look at our example here. Jimmy Olsen is a great photographer. Our subject, of course, is Jimmy Olsen. Our linking verb is. And now we have to ask ourselves, what was Jimmy Olsen? Well, he's a photographer. So we're going to have that as our actual predicate noun. And then we just throw those little modifiers right there at the bottom, a and great, on the slanted lines coming off of photographer, because that's what they're modifying. And that's how we diagram a sentence that has a predicate noun. All right, let's go ahead and look at our practice sentences. So we're going to be diagramming these sentences at the end of our Cornell notes. There's only 5. Make sure you do them all. And also make sure you turn this in by Friday. And above all else, make sure that you're getting these 5 sentences done. They're going to let me know what you're doing correct, what you're doing incorrect. Let's go ahead and read them off real quick, and then we'll wrap it up for today. Number 1, the villain punched the hero. Number 2, Superman is a hero. 3, heroes fight evil. 4, Superman rescues defenseless people. And 5, the whole world was very safe. So make sure you're diagramming those out, and if you have any questions, make sure you're emailing me timothy.leva2@aps.edu, and that's going to wrap it up for today. Have a good one.